It's a fighter at heart. However, we do have a single-player adventure mode as well, and it's an original story that the Cartoon Network and us have come up with, and we wanted to put an adventure mode that can stand on its own. If it was just a single-player, if Punch Time Explosion was just an adventure game, it would still be pretty strong in its own right. Unlike Super Smash Brothers, when they tried to put a single-player adventure game in their in Brawl, I think it was Brawl or Melee, which was fun. It was like 20 hours long, but it was kind of a lot of repetitive run and kill, right? So for us, we try to make it a more genuine adventure experience. So you will be solving puzzles. You'll be having a variety of game mechanics that you're going to be using to pass each level. So it's not just running and using the fighting mechanics to defeat enemies. You actually can platform and use the 3DS's features in ways to continue along in the storyline. What level is that? Is that a skirmish?
Yep. Okay.
So he's jumping into battle mode right now with how many AI are you fighting?
Just 2.
With 2 AI. It's 4-player support, so you can, if you don't have 3 friends available, you can also set up an AI skirmish with 3 other AI. There's 3 levels of difficulty, and this level in particular is pretty dynamic. We try to make all of our arenas kind of look different at the end than they were when you started. So kind of a story in itself. So here we're in Ben 10's world, and eventually they're going to get teleported to the Null Void, which fans of the show would recognize this area. So all of our arenas, we have 21 fighting arenas in all have these dynamic elements to them. Story mode takes you across all the television shows in 32 levels. And they're all designed after iconic locations from the shows themselves. So again, it's just a nod to the fans, like, hey, if you really like the show, you're going to see all these familiar elements in the game. Here you go. So every character has their own set of moves. They have over 200 animations each. And when you're brawling, we have a whole system where we wanted to cater to different fighting styles. So you have your quick characters, you have your characters who are very big and strong, but they may be slow. You have guys that can cover a good range with their attacks. We created a huge balance, which fits well with the property, because you have a character like Dexter or characters like the Powerpuff Girls, who you would expect to be fast moving and to cover the environment quickly, and they do, right? Whereas you also have characters like Vilgax, who's Ben 10's enemy. He's a huge character, and he does move slow, but he hits really hard. So all those balancing factors are designed into the multiplayer skirmishes.
Got a super rating.
Every player has a super attack. Go ahead and trigger that. Not. Every player has a super attack, which you're going to see here, which is a cool cinematic sequence. Gave our animators a lot of fun to play with the different characters and put them in a unique sequence that you might not have seen in the show. This is your player's biggest attack, and they all function differently. Mojo Jojo's in particular, it's pretty much a screen nuke. You don't want to be next to him. Other super attacks are actually controllable. So if you're a Powerpuff Girl and you activate theirs, you'll be in super mode for several seconds, where you can actually navigate around the arena, chase down your opponents, and blast them.
Jiminy Crickets. I'm surprised I'm still alive with this percentage.
Yeah. So those cubes that are dropping, those are the super attack cubes. The more of those you collect, the more your meter's going to be filling up.
Ganging up on me.
All characters have 4 outfits to choose from, because we have 4-player support. And there's Billy and Mandy's. Is it the AI? Did that trigger that? Nice. Billy and Mandy specifically, and also some other characters, you'll see now that they're actually permanently in the what's that mode?
Super Saiyan mode.
Super Saiyan mode.
I don't know if that's what it's called in the show, but yeah.
Yeah, so
it's like to do parodies, and that parody was of the Dragon Ball.
Right. So it's just another nod to fans of the show who might have, that was a very popular episode or thing that they do. So we have those kind of details in the game, those kind of fun show-based elements in the game. Samurai Jack has a similar thing he does. He actually changes his look as well when you're fighting in the game. He becomes shirtless Jack with his hair down. So it's just really fun to see those things when you're fighting.
I'll do that.
Nice. If you want, we can get a little bit of the single player going. We'll show you one of the platforming levels, and so you can get an idea of how gameplay works for single player. That it is in itself, a fun mode as well. It's not just something we threw in there without putting any care into. It's a pretty robust feature. So yeah, go ahead and do Flapjack. When you go into story mode, you select your team of 4 characters. And so again, the theme of the game is crossover, right? We want to get as much crossover with these brands as possible. And so you're going to see your favorite characters in shows that you would never expect to see them in. So his characters here are going to be jumping into The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, and you would never see that on TV. So this is the support Cartoon Network has given us as a developer to really just get as much mishmash as we can with all the different Cartoon Network shows and characters. That's the end-game scene there, dialogue scene.
We got Ben 10 here.
Yeah, Ben 10 in particular, he's a really flashy character because of his alien forms. And so a lot of his alien forms are tied into a lot of your signature moves. So while he's doing battle, he's constantly switching to his different forms that you would see from the show. We have some of the the more popular forms like Humongousaur, and we also have more recent ones from Ultimate Alien like Amphibian. The enemies themselves are also pulled from shows. Those are basket robots from Samurai Jack's show, and then we kind of use that as like a foreshadowing of the things to come. So you see a basket. This is level 3. So you see a basket robot, and you're like, okay, at some point, I'm pretty sure I'm going to run into Samurai Jack, right? So again, this is just a great opportunity to get as many of those, as many characters from the show as possible that we can. You can switch on the fly, like James is doing, between any one of your 4 characters. And coming up is an example of us, just taking advantage of what the 3DS has to offer. This is a kind of a step 1 of a puzzle that grows into something much larger later. But the narrator there is telling the player, hey, blow into the microphone, right? And you can create wind in the environment. So he's doing that, and that's going to raise the platform that he's on. The mic's right there.
I'm a smoker, so.
So it's these kind of elements that'll start to just grow and improve upon themselves to really build this and make this feel like, hey, it is a single-player adventure, right? It's not. So if I do have the game and it's just me playing, at least I have, something I can do, right? And again, that runs about 7 hours, the single-player adventure mode.
Oh, yes.
You familiar with a lot of the shows?
Oh, no, not too.
Not too many. How about you?
Not
No?
not recently. It's been a while. I used to be a big fan, but
Yeah. Well, what shows did you watch?
on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Be back probably about 15 years ago. What were you guys doing 15 years ago?
I think it was at that time probably Powerpuff Girls.
Okay, yeah, that was still. I think it was a
Dexter's
little.
Lab.
I've heard of Dexter, but Dexter was actually a little bit after.
Oh, was it? Okay.
So, I guess Swim. I used to watch Adult Swim with my friends in college.
Nice. Yeah.
It's a giant chicken.
There's a huge variety of game mechanics involved in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Later in this level, he'll reach basically a mini game where he does an Angry Bird style of gameplay
Nice.
using the touch screen. So again, we just wanted to bring as many elements as we can just to really fill up the game to make it. Hey, this this is something new that you're going to be doing with the Cartoon Network shows. In fact, not only are we the only ones supporting 4-player connectivity, this is an original title built from the ground up. It's not a port from another console. It's not a sequel. It's just original game designed for the 3DS specifically. So all our level designs, all the elements you see, it's really designed to take advantage of, for one, the 3D capabilities, and also all the other features it has.
Time to go big.
Our studio, Papaya, we were the devs on the last 2 Ben 10 titles. So we developed Cosmic Destruction and Vildax Attack. So our relationship with Cartoon Network kind of led into this new venture right here to create something fun with all the properties.
Or teeter-totter. Whatever it is, keep it level so you can fire off the cannons. Don't stand too long on one end or you'll fall in the ocean.
How's everything going? Good.
So you can see we intentionally have things coming towards you, right, to really take advantage of the 3D. And that's just a fun kind of gameplay mechanic right there, where you got to keep things balanced while trying to take down the pirate ship.
One of the guys from Magica. We just talked.
Ground attacks won't do anything against these birds'
Yeah,
brains.
most of the time it's very business-like. I think they just sit there and talk about it.
We have over
Chowder,
50, there's over 50 characters
Buttercup,
represented
Flapjack,
in the game
Captain
from the
Knuckles,
shows. So
got
there's
number
18
1,
playables, and
Grim,
then in multiplayer
Monkey,
skirmishes, you
Dexter,
have assist characters
got
that
Mac
come
and
in.
Blue,
They join in you in the battle
course,
for
Blossom,
a short amount of
Bubbles,
time, and there's
Billy
19
and Mandy.
of
They
those.
are
And then we
playable
have,
as kind of
in
similar
the
to Ice
environments,
Climbers
we have
and
a
stuff.
bunch of
They're
background characters
just 2
who
guys
fill
playing
up
as
the
one.
environment, bring it to life,
Samurai
and they're all
Jack,
pulled from the
our
shows.
mystery
So
guy,
that's where
which you won't
that's
say. That's
over
Father
50
from Kids
characters
Next
from.
Door,
You might bet you'll
Mogax from
probably
Ben
recognize
10,
from your favorite
and
shows that
Mojo
are in the
Jojo
game.
from Powerpuff Girls.
We
Excellent.
are the only game that